climate justice crusaders of color throughout this year. KBLA Talk 1580 will be bringing you insightful interviews on all of our shows to help raise your climate IQ. Each quarter this year, we will also be hosting free climate events in various communities throughout the city with food, fun, and forward-thinking conversations. Thanks to partners like LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, the Sierra Club, the California Community Foundation, the California Endowment, AQMD, MWD, and more. You'll also be hearing more about a couple of national town halls broadcasting live from Los Angeles, to which you will be invited. And we'll be rolling out a robust social media campaign on all our platforms, as well as an outdoor media campaign, all designed to educate, enlighten, and empower you in our fight for climate justice.
We want cleaner air.
Caring about the community means caring about the climate. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that we really can change the world if we care enough. 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 If we care enough.
Yeah. In the Ferrari or Jaguar, switching 4 lanes with the top down, screaming out, money ain't a thing.
Bubble hard in the double law, flashing the rings with the window crack. Holla back, money ain't a thing.
Jigga, I don't like it if it don't gleam. In the hell with the price, but the money ain't a
Put
thing.
it down hard for my dogs that's locked in the bang. When you hit the bricks, new whips, money ain't a thing. Come on.
Yeah, I wanna floss with us. Come on. All across the board, we burn it up. Drop a little paper, baby, toss it up. Slacking on your pimpin', turn it up. See the money ain't a thing.
Flex the road, sign a check for your Jigga style is love, X and O. Save all your accolades. Just
Welcome to Wealth Building Wednesdays, where we center Black, women, and BIPOC-owned businesses, highlight opportunities and initiatives for underrepresented entrepreneurs, and center socially innovative enterprises, building generational prosperity, fostering real networking, and recycling Black dollars. It's Wealth Building Wednesdays on KBLA Talk 1580.
And it is indeed a Wealth Building Wednesday. I love putting Black-owned, BIPOC, women-owned, and small businesses and socially innovative businesses in the spotlight. That is what we do. And today we're featuring the founder of the 1990s hip-hop fashion line, Happi Nappi Wear. She is Roni, a.k.a. Poet Roni Girl. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you, Dominique, sis. I appreciate it. I met you years ago at several events, but I'm so blessed and honored to be on your show, and thank you for looking out for us folks.
Yeah, well, it's great to see you again, or hear you again, I should say.
Okay.
You know, the life of a business person, a small business person, it can be pretty challenging. I mean, being an entrepreneur requires a kind of guts and sometimes recklessness or faith, right?
Right.
To step out and manifest the vision that you have in your mind. Tell me about that journey for you.
Well, for me, it's always, and you see on my posts on IG, God first, because without God, I couldn't do this. I mean, I landed in L.A. in 1985. I've been straight hustling from the 1990s hip-hop line and being involved with the different hip-hop clubs to I was blessed in the 90s to write poetry for the Moesha show, which tied into everything, and then now doing the Army Couture, which is upcycled Army jackets, honoring my parents who are military. But like you were saying, it's a faith-based walk, because all of this stuff I had no actual training in, but because I believed in myself and I was hustling. I don't drive. I'm like riding the bus 24 hours a day. 210 Crenshaw bus is like my limo, okay? So basically believing in yourself, because as you know, or as we know, people will try to talk you out of your dream or tell you can't do anything. And my thing is, I want listeners to know and understand, no matter what you choose, you can do it. And you have to get up early in the morning and just grind. You have to grind. You have to believe, especially in the times that we're in now. You have to believe in yourself, whether you are a designer, a poet, a candle maker, a person that wants to have a home-based daycare business, whatever it is, you have to believe, because people will try to talk you out of your dreams.
Yeah. So you believed and you did what? I mean, you believed. What was the launch of your journey? I mean, I'm the daughter of poets, so I know poets usually aren't rich, and they're not necessarily entrepreneurs. So.
Well, because my mother was always had that spirit in the 90s with the Happi Nappi, where I was able to be successful, and we'll relaunch it because I was doing merchandising for Quincy Jones's company. So when Fresh Prince launched, I was able to have Happi Nappi wear like on Fresh Prince, Different World, Ruth Carter got me in, House Party. So I was able to sustain myself. And as a poet, even though typically they weren't making money, I was blessed because I did Roni's Backstreet Poetry College Tour, writing the poetry for Moesha, and was able to produce a show at the House of Blues with Pam Grier as my co-host, and I did a poetry show at the Comedy Store for 5 years. So financially, I was able to sustain myself, and then I always was doing merchandising. So I was always selling Happi Nappi T-shirts or Roni's Backstreet Poetry T-shirts. And then throughout every hustle I had, I always made sure I had merchandising to back it up. And then segueing now into Army Couture, I was doing the Crenshaw Farmers Market. I do a lot of pop-ups like the Black Girl Art Show. I do those types of events. So I'm doing pop-ups. And now that I've built somewhat of not a fan base, I call it a family base, I have people now that order because my Army Couture jackets are jackets that have our folks like Nipsey Hussle honoring Tupac, honoring Sade, different people on the back of jackets using African fabric, so reminiscent of like an African-American quilt, because both my grandmothers quilted. I was born in Mississippi, and so I say I'm half Mississippi, half Louisiana, but raised in the Pacific Northwest. And, I got that crooked letter hustle from my mama from Mississippi.
Well, you're the Army wear that you have, it's like an applique, right? They're different fabrics and almost like an applique collage on a jacket. It feels like a piece of artwork.
Exactly, and thank you, sis. That's what I call it, wearable art. So the main thing, like I said, my mom and dad Army, and so I'm honoring our African-American heritage and indigenous fabric from around the world, and a lot of upcycled, recycled fabric. Because so basically, like if I have a picture of Nipsey Hussle or Nina Simone on the back of the jacket, I wrap it in a quilt-like form in African fabric. And for example, if you had a legacy jacket, and I was doing a jacket with your father, who I definitely admire as a poet, I would use fabric that you might give me a piece of the fabric from your family to put on your jacket. So my thing is creating legacy, creating art on our back, wearable art using upcycled African fabric and indigenous fabric.
You also have hip hop stuff. I see, like you said Nipsey, but I see a De La Soul jacket here on your IG. And I even see a sorority jacket using African colors to get the AKA thing going.
Ski-wee? I'm at Kappa Sigma chapter, Washington State, so I got to represent the AKAs, my brothers at Alpha. And the thing is, too, with the jackets, I was blessed. Recently, I was just in the studio with Tre from Pharcyde. I did a jacket for him. I'm getting ready to do a jumpsuit for my Jump Girl 333 line. And then, you guys, this Tuesday, Digable Planets is on their 30-year anniversary, so Doodle Bug, I'm doing a jacket for him. And then also just did one for Tabitha Brown. So it's slowly, organically coming together. People are really, because my main thing is wearable art, and I directly talk to the different customers, and I kind of make them the co-pilot for their design. So like Doodle Bug, he had an idea, he wanted to do a sunrise jacket. And the different people, if they have an idea, you come to me, I work with you to create your legacy and your wearable quilted art on the back of a jacket, honoring my mom and dad who were military, Fort Lewis Army base. So I'm carrying on that tradition of creating quilts and wearable art.
Okay, I just dare you to show up to any military base with this Biggie Smalls military jacket.
Okay, but wait a minute.
Or the Billie Holiday one either, to be honest.
Okay, I know. Okay,
but I would rock either one of those because they're cute. I mean, it is like art. It doesn't feel like a tacky, brand thing. So, go ahead.
And what really is it when I do pop-ups like West Elm and Pottery Barn, and when I'm in there, and I get a lot of the military men that will come up to me, and they will see the jackets, and they open up and tell me their story. They're like, "Oh my God, this is such a beautiful design. I was in Vietnam," and etc. So it's almost like a conversation piece, wearable art, because people come to me and tell me the story. My father was in World War II. My father was in Vietnam. My son was in, wherever, Kuwait. It's become a conversation piece.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's why.
I mean, I think that would be the problem. I'm sure that would be true for the wearer of this too. So the Happi Nappi brand, that was the predecessor to
Right.
Poet Roni Girl, and your military wear. You may or may not bring that back, but we'll find it. You're definitely bringing it back.
Oh, no, definitely bring it back, because that was like my start. And like with Dee Barnes and Pump It Up, I was blessed to work with her doing a lot of my Happi Nappi wear. And like I said, the different shows, fresh months. No, I'm definitely, as I say, bringing that black this year.
Okay, and all of this stuff we would track on your Instagram. Is that the best place? Because you said you mostly do pop-ups. So where will we find you? Let's say we want to order something, or we just want to track the return of Happi Nappi.
Well, you go to Poet Roni Girl, PoetRonigirl brand, Poet Roni Girl brand, and then you can also catch me April 24th at the World Stage, and then March 3rd I'm performing, and I will have my merchandise at the Black Girl Art Show. And, so mainly Poet Roni Girl, and I will have a website soon, but you can just tap in. I get right back to people. And I'm getting back out there with the poetry, setting up my Poet Roni Girl Words Across America tour. So the main thing is merchandising and poetry. That is my blessings. That was what God gave me, and that's what I'm continuing.
Okay, so the show April 12th at the World Stage. That's you doing poetry?
No, April 24th, V. Kali at the World Stage. I'll be doing a full-on feature. March 3rd, I'll be at the Black Girl Art Show, and you can find out that information. And if you wouldn't mind, I can give you guys a little taste what you might hear.
Sure.
As we go out. Okay, this is for the old school players, Black in the Day. Black in the Day, I used to watch Three the Hard Way and the original Foxy Brown, like Cleopatra Jones, be kicking with Afro, would-be revolutionary types. And I am back on the block like Quincy Jones, be bebopping, and I be hip-hopping, and we be grooving as he be the dude, his color be purple, as he be on a quest called life. Because you see, I am that sister. Thank you, KBLA and Dominique DiPrima, for letting me get my flow on.
Absolutely. Great way to start our day. So poetry, Poet Roni Girl, it's Poet and then RONI Girl brand. That's where you can find her on Instagram. And we will definitely be tracking you. Congratulations, continued success, and thank you for sharing some poetry with us this morning as well.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Dominique DiPrima, sister, and KBLA and South LA. That's how we roll. Lamert Park, Mid-City. Holla, y'all. Tap in. Poet Roni Girl.
For real. This is a great time to call me right now, 800-920-1580 if you're feeling away. If not, I got a few things to talk about. You know that. We've got another candidate for District 2 supervisorial seat coming up this hour as well. And then next hour, Dr. Gerald Horn. We're stacked today. KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
The thing no one tells you about periods is that your flow changes every day, and so should your tampon size. Tampax has 5 absorbencies to match your changing flow. If it hurts to remove, go down a size. If it leaks, go up a size. Only Tampax has a leak guard braid to help give you up to 100% leak and odor-free protection. All-day comfort and protection for under $5 a month. Based on average U.S. consumer usage at manufacturer suggested price. However, pricing is at the sole discretion of the retailer. Excludes 8-count packs.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do Black history every single day. In fact, as the only Black talk radio station west of the Mississippi, we are Black history. Our annual Black History Month luncheon is fast approaching, and we want to be sure to give you ample time to get your company, organization, church, or group to join us at this year's celebration on the last day of the month, Thursday, February 29th at noon. Last year, we honored iconic local Black media personalities, including Pat Harvey, Jim Hill, Mark Brown, Beverly White, Sandy Banks, and Pat Prescott, and raised $20,000 in scholarships. This year, we're honoring Black Hollywood creatives who have used their artistic genius as climate justice champions. At this year's luncheon, we will be showcasing and sharing their inspiring work on our big screen. Plus, a scrumptious meal, live music, great company, and lots of fun with your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts. So contact us today at info@smileyAudiomedia.com or call 323-290-4690. That's info@smileyAudiomedia.com or call 323-290-4690. We hope to see you Thursday, February 29th as we close out Black History Month. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
She's so smooth, so... I'm interrupting my own shower to remind you to treat your skin like the queen she is with Olay Hyaluronic Body Wash, packed with Olay's highest level of vitamin B3 complex. It's so moisturizing that it will give you visibly smoother, head-turning skin in just 14 days. People wondering, how'd she get so smooth? Olay Hyaluronic Body Wash. Also, try Olay Hyaluronic Body Lotion.
Some people just know the best places to eat around town. Those are the people who know to choose Allstate. They know exactly where to go to get exactly what you're wanting. They know where to find the spiciest hot pot, the gooeyest brownies, and the tenderest, most flavorful portobello steak. Those people also know that safe drivers save 40% with Allstate.
Saving 40% is based on the national average premium savings for all state auto customers with a clean driving record versus those without. Savings vary by state and vary based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
And like I said, if you want to give a call, you can do that 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. It seems to be Board of Supervisors Day around here. We'll be hearing from another candidate next. And as I shared with you, I went to the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors meeting on yesterday. I think that it was really long. It's an experience that, I think if you have time, especially when there's an important issue, you might want to do. Impressive group. Our Board of Supervisors, all women at this point. And the conversation that I was there to hear was about the closure of the jail, the men's central jail, and also the report back on the use of force by LA sheriffs inside the jails. It was very interesting. I think the thorniest issue is closing the men's central jail because, as I mentioned, the LA County Board of Supervisors, really at the urging of the voters. I mean, let's look at what happened, not just in 2020 with marching, but with our voting, right? And that whole period, that run up to that period where we really put some teeth into our Care First concept. And now we're in a period of backlash. And that's why I think it's really important to hold on to the gains that we did make and make certain that we are implementing the things we voted in rather than getting tricked into believing that they have failed when they haven't even been fully implemented yet. Tricked into believing that the only way we can be safe is by having more and more carceral approach of locking people up, throwing away the key, more and more cops, more and more deputies, at a time when we are allegedly, for the first time, trying to really root out these LA Sheriff's Department gangs. The presentation is interesting as far as, what it takes for our Sheriff's Department to really be in compliance in the way they treat prisoners. And even though we're not there yet, I wonder, even if we were there, would this stop the killings inside of the prison system, right? Because I've talked to so many families where the person, their loved one dies in prison, and then, they had a heart attack, they died of natural causes, they just fell over dead, we don't know what happened, and they're not getting answers. So obviously this is a huge project. The closure of Men's Central Jail is something that the supervisors voted to do in 2021. And it's something we've been talking about for a long time. It's something many activists have been calling for a long time. That, and a lot of us are frustrated that it's not done yet. One of the things which I already thought, because, I pay a certain amount of attention, because I've talked to families, because I'm active with Black Lives Matter grassroots, and other community-based organizations, is that we have got, and I tried to say this, when you do public comment, they only give you a couple minutes. So 1 minute usually. We had 2 yesterday because there were 2 different issues. You can never get everything in that you want to say. So we're going to spend some time talking about this in the days and weeks ahead. One of the things that I have observed is everybody wants to be able to just wave a magic wand and poof, the jail is gone and everyone is, happily skipping away. It was the same thing with the unhoused. We want to just say, okay, safer inside, all better, but that's not how it works. And when it comes to the jail, I feel like it's a reflection of all these different problems that we have. At the moment, the Justice, Care, and Opportunities Department, which, my friend and colleague, Judge Songhai Armstead, is actually has just put on its feet. It's a brand new department. It's a little over a year old, has been tasked with this. But in order to close a jail, the county jail, where they hold people awaiting charges, people where they're also, there's a combination of what they call pre-trial, which is they put you in jail and you're waiting to get convicted or freed or whatever's going to happen to you. And then the people that have already been convicted of stuff that have to serve time in the county. Those include, now, we've heard a lot of talk about the bail schedules, right? And how the alarmists say, we're letting everyone out. But if that was the case, the jail would already be closed. There's a bunch of people still in there. And so what do you do with those folks? Where do they go? What happens to the people in there that are murderers? What happens to the people in there that are having mental health crisis? And this is clearly something where you have to have every county department working in concert, because the sheriffs control the jails and mental health controls the treatment of those mentally ill folks. And, our county health controls those that are infirm, elderly or infirm, chronically ill that are in those jails. And, it's just, you've got the courts, right? The judges that are deciding who goes there and for how long. Then you've got our supervisors who are trying to make change and implement this Care First model and implement, Measure J and Measure R. And I think folks do a great job of showing up and trying to stay on them to make sure that this is moving. What I don't think we're doing the best job of is listening to what's been done, and when we pushing based on not just our perception of what should be, but based on what we're hearing in that meeting, based on what is unfolding. And I was, I may have to ponder how to say this a little better before I deep dive. I was encouraged to see that the conversation is robust, that so many department heads showed up yesterday at the meeting to talk about how we can realistically close that jail. So I guess that represents progress in the sense that the conversation is happening. The JCOD laid out what the conditions are that need to exist in order for this to move forward. But how do you make that happen with with all these different pieces, moving parts, which is like herding cats in a sense? What is the role of the state? Obviously you want your you want your board of supervisors to be able to function autonomously, but this is a huge and expensive project, and it's an ongoing problem because the conditions inside of that jail are inhumane and intolerable. But you know, unlike what you hear, what's not actually happening is people just being let out in mass. So how do you get from point A to point B? Supervisor Horvath was quite upset yesterday. She was elected in 2022, and this is a problem that's been in existence for quite some time. So I think my perception of that conversation was that you got to really be well versed in what has happened so far before you got there in 2022 and figure out how to move the ball without trying to scapegoat any one person or department. I know, you know, that when we have terrible, horrible, very bad messes, we like to call in black women to fix them. Or occasionally, you know, a black man too. Like, if you want to be president of the United States as a black man, you have to have the Bush crash of 2008, right? So I was very appreciative of, you know, the balanced leadership of Supervisor Mitchell, who looked at the plan and said, well, these are the questions that I have. These are the flaws that I see. I was less appreciative of someone just coming in and going, why isn't this fixed? And that's kind of what I got from the chair, which is Supervisor Horvath. So I'm really interested to see how the follow-up to this is. And it's, you know, it's not going to happen overnight, but we, all of us, and I'm talking particularly to progressive advocates, we can't just say the same thing over and over again. We have to track, where are we right now? Where are we this week? Where are we next week? Where are we the week after next? And continue to hold the line and track what's happening. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
Say the quiet part out loud. KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. In Virginia, a civil rights figure is now immortalized in Richmond. The city yesterday unveiled a statue of Jane Cooper Johnson. In 1961, as a 12-year-old girl known as Daisy Jane Cooper, she was the first black student to attend West Hampton Junior High School. The 12-foot-high statue is called Strides. American travelers are being warned about visiting Jamaica. The State Department issued a travel advisory last week saying violent crimes like homicides, armed robberies, and sexual assaults are common. The department added that high-level or specialized health care may not be available in Jamaica. Anyone planning to travel to the popular Caribbean destination is being told to avoid secluded situations and get traveler's insurance. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique. But you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Another poor defensive effort by the Lakers led to another loss Tuesday night. The Lakers gave up 138 points to Atlanta. They lost by 16. Over the past two games, the Lakers have given up a combined 273 points. The Lakers did not have Anthony Davis. He sat out with a sore left hip and a sore Achilles tendon. Austin Reeves led the Lakers with 28 points. LeBron had 20 points and 8 assists. The Lakers are back under 500 for the 14th time this season. They're at Boston Thursday night. The Clippers are back in action tonight. They're at Washington. Game 4 of their 7-game road trip, 4 p.m. tip-off. Former Lakers guard Rajon Rondo is in trouble. Rondo was arrested after he was pulled over on a highway in southern Indiana. Rondo was charged with illegal possession of a gun and drugs possession. Rondo helped the Lakers win the NBA championship in 2021. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Got me a damn girl on my team.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe we have the best tag team in morning radio. Dominique DiPrima and Tavis Smiley as the first black woman in Los Angeles to anchor a morning drive talk radio show. Dominique covers local politics like a blanket. Weekday mornings from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. At 9 a.m., Dominique passes the baton to Tavis Smiley, who talks to everybody about everything every day until 12 noon. KBLA's dynamic duo, Dominique and Tavis. It's no wonder the LA Civil Rights Department is honoring Dominique DiPrima this year at its Tell Our Story honoring black journalist leaders and storytellers event, Thursday, February 8th. Or that the John M. Langston Bar Association of Los Angeles is honoring Tavis Smiley at its 47th Annual Installation and Scholarship Awards Gala with its Community Impact Award on February 10th. We couldn't be more proud of Dominique and Tavis, who make black history every day, not just in February. If you're missing Dominique and Tavis weekday mornings on KBLA Talk 1580, you're missing out. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black.
Holla, yeah.
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life with just one wrong pill. Addiction is a disease that can affect anyone at any age. But there is a choice to get help for this disease. Find medically proven treatment options, including virtual, at choosemat.org.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than choosing Charles Barkley in a pickup game.
We'll take Barkley.
Ha! First pick. Sorry, kids.
Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it even a decision?
Okay, here's the plan. Pass me the ball every time.
This is banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
We all agree that America has a very serious problem.
Okay, KBLA delegation, we need your help as we launch our 2024 Climate Justice Campaign. We would deeply appreciate you going to our KBLA 1580 website and filling out a short climate justice survey, which will help us better serve our beloved community as we build out this campaign. It'll take you just a few short minutes to complete the online survey, and the information you provide us will be invaluable as we do our part to hold folk accountable and amplify the voices of our people in this climate conversation. When you take the survey, you'll be automatically entered to win seats at our annual Black History Month luncheon, Thursday, February 29th. So, hit our website at KBLA 1580. Help us out by taking the short climate justice campaign survey, and you could be our guest at our annual Black History Month luncheon, Thursday, February 29th. Thank you in advance for your consideration and cooperation. At KBLA Talk 1580, we care about the community, we care about the climate. We care about the climate. Find a righteous rage, and don't be afraid to say what you see. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
Continuing our quest to get to know the folks that want your vote this election season. And as I said, it seems to be Board of Supervisors Day today. We have a candidate for District 2. He says his journey is a testament to his commitment to making positive impact on the lives of others. He moved to Los Angeles back in 2002 to work for LA's Dream Center. The center is the organization known for providing free services, housing, recovery programs for individuals and families in need. He, of course, continues his work as an activist here, but is the founder and CEO of Safe Squad Incorporated, which is a safe online platform designed for kids, to give safe experiences online for kids. Prior to that, he worked as Director of Homeless and Housing for Councilwoman Traci Park. Clint Carleton, welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me today.
Thank you. I'm going to ask you the same question I ask a lot of people that this election season, there seem to be a lot of people running who have never held public office, and you're running for, one of the top jobs. I mean, being a supervisor on the board of supervisors, almost like being a governor.
Correct.
So why would you start there?
I would say that, when I looked online to see who was running against Holly Mitchell, I believe we need true leadership in those offices now. I think we're at a point with homelessness, with the housing crisis, with the safety of our residents and businesses, that we need somebody to step in and be a leader. I have a 7-year-old daughter, and, you know, back in 2022, I came to Los Angeles. I fell in love with this city, and I want my daughter to be in love with the same city that I fell in love with, the land of opportunity that Los Angeles was, not businesses leaving, not people leaving in flocks. I think that we need to, you know, have leaders that are going to put things forward, that are going to hold departments accountable, and that's what I want to do.
No doubt you saw the recent crime report that shows that we're down in almost every area of crime. I mean, other than, you know, obviously car thefts, robberies, not that that's wonderful. But one of the things that alarms me is that I'm hearing so many candidates talk about it like this is the 80s or the 90s, and we're nowhere near that in terms of crime.
I think we're going down a path of crime in different ways. In Compton, we have the street takeovers happening right now. There's people that have lost lives.
I mean, that's not just in Compton.
It's not just in Compton, but those are the people that are speaking out the most about street takeovers.
Right.
You know, their voices are being heard, and those are the people that have come to me and said, we have to get this issue taken care of. And there's a lot of things that aren't being enforced, a lot of crimes that aren't being enforced, and we have to enforce those laws and ordinances that are put in place to be enforced.
Give me an example of what you're talking about.
Well, street takeovers, there's I
mean, they are against the law.
They are against the law, yeah. But then also you look at the smash and grabs going on. We have to be better at enforcing those laws so that the people don't do those anymore. You know, we can't have businesses being shut down.
So what you're telling me is that you feel we can arrest our way or enforce our way out of these problems?
Not arrest our way, enforce our way. I feel like we look at these individuals that are committing these, and there's an issue that people have lost their purpose in different communities. And I think we need to help people at an early age find their purpose and find their goals and values and dreams. You know, you look at...
What about their resources? I mean, you can have all the goals, values, and dreams you want. You also need the same resources that other communities have.
And that's what I want to do, is I want to provide resources. You look at the Watts Empowerment Center. Justin Mayo runs the Watts Empowerment Center, close friend of mine. Not a county official or city official has come to him and asked him to expand what he's doing in Watts. And what he's doing is he's teaching kids computer classes, coding, different ways of, instead of just making ends meet, he can change the trajectories of families for generations if we do things right.
What do you say to folks that, like our LA city attorney, who believes that those smash and grabs are part of organized crime?
Some are, some aren't. You know, I mean, there's different people doing them, and so we have to look at the organized crime aspect of it, and we need to look at the random individuals that are doing it, and we need to fix that.
So you excuse me, houselessness, public safety, and crime are the three things you list on your website as being your priorities, the things that are most important to you as a supervisor.
And everything kind of falls into place. You look at the homelessness crisis. We talk about, we don't have housing. You know, we don't have. They just put down SB 43. They delayed it till 2026, and that's the conservatorship over those dealing with mental health issues and substance abuse, where we could say, okay, we need you to go into a program of some sort.
But we have the care court that's meant to do that.
We
right?
do have the care court, but what they're saying is,
do you support that, by the way?
Absolutely, but we have to get better. So we have to tweak things to make them better, and you know, we look at. You know, Measure H. Measure H funding was designated as a designated tax that started back in 2017 to help combat homelessness.
Right.
Then you have the Measure MHSA, Mental Health Service Act, that taxes anybody over $1 million, that makes $1 million, they tax them 1%. Okay, that brought in 2022-23, brought in $1.9 billion. But we have $400 million left over in 2022-23, and that's a track record of years prior to. So if they're saying we don't have the money, then that's a lie.
Well, okay. I think we have a homeless problem that's bigger than what we, the voters, measured when we did H and HHH. Are you? But what's your solution? You're saying we have the money, we're just wasting money.
No, we need to create affordable housing for one.
But how do you do that without money?
We have money. We have the money. We have almost 500 back in 2022, 23.
You know how many houses were down?
A lot. We're down a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. But back in 2022, 23, we underspent. Not money that we gave LASA, but underspent. We underspent $500 million. But then we have Prop 1 that they're trying to get us to vote for to give more money to combat homelessness and mental health. We shouldn't have to throw money at the problem.
Yeah.
Conservative.
I don't know if you're a conservative. I don't know if you're a Republican or a Democrat, but conservatives always say you don't throw money at the problem. But when I hear that, I call BS, because everywhere, like schools are a great example. Everywhere you go where they have robust budgets and well-padded property, local taxes, the schools are better.
Yeah.
So you do have to throw money at the problem.
You throw money at the problem, but it's not at the taxpayer's expense.
It's always at the taxpayer's expense. That's what our taxes are for.
But that's
to pay for infrastructure.
I don't believe when we have Measure H and Measure MHSA that we need another prop, that we need another tax to tax the people when they don't see results coming out. I don't believe that.
That's interesting. Okay. Well, so what do you think we should be doing instead? I mean, if we're housing 20 people a day and 25 a day are falling into houselessness, then you pull away those programs, it's going to get a lot more dire than it is now, wouldn't it?
I don't think you're pulling away the programs. I think that you need to better your programs. You need to make things better.
So just do it better?
Yeah, like Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant used to say he would look in the mirror every day and say, am I better today than I was yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. We should do everything better. I wish I could do radio better. But for me, as just a regular person, regular citizen voter, whatever, it seems like, I guess what I'm looking for is specifics. Because for me, I can sit there and go, look at these 5 women here that are on the Board of Supervisors. I can do it better.
Mm-hmm.
But if you've never done it, are we Monday morning quarterbacking?
I don't think so. I think we're looking at leadership. And would I've run against Janice Hahn? Absolutely. And that's the thing is Holly's in my district. I feel like we need strong leadership in that office.
And you don't think she's providing strong leadership?
I don't think she's providing strong leadership in any community that she's in. And I know that's harsh to say.
Well, it sounds a little mansplaining. I mean, I don't mean to be, weird, but it does sound a little mansplaining when you're saying we have no good leadership. We've got 5 skilled women on the Board of Supervisors, whether you agree with them or don't agree with them. All of them have worked their way there through various positions. None of them have just said, you know what, I'm going to be a supervisor. So what makes you so sure that you can just do it better?
We've got a giant problem with LASA right now. A giant problem with LASA, with people that are being told, the mom that was told that was living on the bus bench of LAX when her 1-year-old daughter died. She was told, oh, we're going to get you housing. We're going to do this for you, but you're on a waiting list.
Allegedly, yeah. I mean, I read that story. I saw the story. I saw her rant, and I didn't blame her because her child was dead.
Yeah.
But we don't know everything that happened in that situation, and you really never do.
But people shouldn't be dying on our streets.
Absolutely, we can agree on that.
Should
but again, I need
dying.
Specifics. What are you going to do that our current Board of Supervisors isn't trying to do at the moment?
So we have to create incubators of greatness.
What does that mean?
Incubators of greatness they go in one way, they come out a different way. We look at the model of
schools,
or housing,
training centers.
Training
you're
centers.
talking about housing.
I
now.
just
Okay.
don't believe that you could shove a addict or somebody with mental health into a hotel and throw up your confetti and say we did our job.
I don't think anybody's doing that.
We've housed 22,000 people. The mayor came out and said that.
They're not on the street. She hasn't said that the program is over, that people are in permanent housing. They're still struggling. I mean, I think she's acknowledged that.
They are, but we need, wraparound services for these individuals.
Everyone says that. That's not rocket science.
But we create incubators of greatness. We have believe it's the Hawthorne Mall that's been sitting vacant for over 10 years. Yet we haven't looked at purchasing that mall to turn it into a place of recovery.
So go a little bit more in detail about incubators of greatness, your idea for how we can, have people come into these services and come out.
Wraparound services.
Rehabilitation, I guess, is what you're talking about.
Create great rehabilitation areas that it doesn't feel like rehabilitation. It feels like a family environment, an environment where they're almost forced to change. They're almost forced to think different and act different. And I think that's what I'm looking at as a board of supervisor is we have to create opportunities for people to succeed. We can no longer, and there needs to be a sense of urgency. During COVID, there was a sense of urgency on shutting down restaurants, businesses, churches, different things. There was a sense of urgency. There needs to be a greater sense of urgency on our homelessness crisis.
Talking with Clint Carleton, he's running for District 2 Supervisor, the district we are sitting in right now. And when we come forward, I want to hear about your plan for safety. You said crime, safety, houselessness. Those are your top priorities. What do you think would work to tamp down crime and increase our safety? You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
She's so smooth, so... I'm interrupting my own shower to remind you to treat your skin like the queen she is with Olay Hyaluronic Body Wash, packed with Olay's highest level of vitamin B3 complex. It's so moisturizing that it will give you visibly smoother, head-turning skin in just 14 days. People wondering, how'd she get so smooth? Olay Hyaluronic Body Wash. Also, try Olay Hyaluronic Body Lotion.
KBLA Talk 1580 is the exclusive media sponsor of this light of ours, activist photographers of the Civil Rights Movement. A dynamic new exhibition on view now at the Skirball Cultural Center in Los Angeles. This light of ours showcases more than 150 photos taken by movement insiders from diverse backgrounds that reveal the vital work undertaken by a broad coalition of organizers and everyday people whose collective action changed America. This light of ours is one of 3 temporary exhibitions currently on view at the Skirball, which together explore issues related to civil rights, immigration, and pluralism. Tickets and more information for all 3 exhibitions are available at skirball.org. That's skirball.org. SKIRBALL.org.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga. My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
We're not for everybody, but we're for everybody. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
You are, and we're talking with Clint Carleton. He's running for the LA County Board of Supervisors. That's got to be an expensive and daunting undertaking. LA County Board of Supervisors constituency groups is larger than many states.
Yeah, it's about 2 million people.
Yeah. That's a lot of folks. So we got a lot to cover. We're going to try to squeeze it in right here because time flies when you're on the radio. Crime and safety are big for you. What do you propose we do?
Well, crime and safety, we had a couple weeks ago, I went and rode the Metro. I've had a lot of people that work for the Metro and people out there that ride the Metro.
And of course, you'd have a seat on the Metro.
You would have a seat on the Metro board. And my whole goal on the Metro is keeping it as safe as we can be so I could put my mother-in-law or my child on it and feel safe about them riding it. And so I rode the Metro from 4 p.m. to 2 a.m. on a Friday night. And what I saw, I didn't go with any security. I didn't go with any cameramen, nothing. I just said, I want to ride the Metro. Well, obviously, I'm 6'2", 220 pounds. I'm a kind of a bigger guy. And I didn't think that anything would happen to me, but I wanted to feel that same experience that the girl feels at midnight. And I did that. And man, I saw a mom that had just had her car repoed a week before that was forced to take the Metro. But, there was some stuff going on the Metro with either mental health or the guy was, out of his mind, screaming, hollering. Obviously didn't pay for that ride. And it happened for like 6 stops. And the mom had to get off with her kids because she feared for her kid's life.
So I'm assuming you went and talked to her. That's how you.
I sat with her the whole entire time.
So what? Again, back to specifics of how will you fix this?
Well, we've got to encourage our law enforcement. Obviously, we went through the defund the police.
Even though the police have never been defunded and actually have continuously received massive increase.
LA City, yes. So Mayor Karen Bass has been great.
Even the county, even before Mayor Bass. But so you want to.
So I want to
beef up their budgets even more. Is that what you're saying?
We have to, and because
why do we have to?
Well, with our sheriff's department, we have to make it competitive.
They have a huge budget.
But we're not given incentives. So you look at different areas around Los Angeles County right now, in different cities, Orange County, they can lateral and get $90,000 in benefits.
Yeah, they come to our academies, get trained. But so your solution, it sounds like what I'm hearing you say is more and more and more enforcement, and then programs where people are going to come out different.
Enforcement, getting people on the right track.
Bigger police, bigger budget for the sheriff, bigger budget. Are you concerned because the LA County Board of Supervisors oversees the sheriff's department?
Absolutely.
Are you concerned about sheriff's gangs?
It's our job. Sheriff gangs. I mean, you bring Alex Villanueva. They've been trying to get him to talk about the sheriff gangs, but yet they can't really bring up anybody that they did bring up, but will present them to us. And are we concerned about that? I'm concerned about anything that hinders somebody's work, and my job.
What are their ability to be alive?
Exactly.
If you're a black or Latino citizen.
But my job as Board of Supervisors is to make sure that the sheriff has all the resources that they need.
But they have a lot of resources. They take the lion's share of our budget.
We've got to be better on mental health with the sheriff's department. I don't think we should have the sheriff. Go ahead. I don't think the sheriff's department should be working 2 8-hour shifts, a break, and then come back for another 16 hours. I don't believe that. We have to be better because it doesn't help you. It doesn't help me. If there's a sheriff deputy that has been working 24 hours in the past 2 days, that doesn't help us out at all.
So you're saying, and Luna has said this, that you think they're tired. But
worn down.
Your analysis, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that we need to be more efficient in our spending on the unhoused, but we need to give the sheriffs all the money they want without looking at efficiencies.
We need to get back to where they were before 2020. I think that in roundabout ways, they have been defunded. And
give me an example of your
ways.
Roundabout way.
You look at the even park enforcement. They decided that they would send that to Public Works, so that now it's not on the sheriff's budget anymore.
So you think the sheriff should do everything?
I think the sheriff should be in charge
except
of the metro.
for mental health.
I think they should be in charge of the metro. I think that the contract needs.
Okay, so do you want sheriffs on the metro? That sounds like a lot of dead people to me. I don't mean to be extreme.
No, I understand.
But especially, you just said that we shouldn't have sheriffs dealing with mental health.
I did.
Didn't you say that?
No. No.
I misheard that. Okay.
No, but I feel like we do need enforcement on the metros. I don't think that we need issues to take place that's taking place right now. We've got security guards, and they're only there to basically observe and report.
And you're talking about the ambassadors?
Well, the ambassadors are just answering questions. They're
right.
there to answer questions
and make you feel a little safer.
Well, the ones that I saw, they weren't keeping anybody safe, and so this so we have to be better. At the end of the day, we have to be better for safety of the people. And that's my number one concern is safety of the people. Are we keeping our people safe?
Okay, I'm gonna try to pivot here because we keep getting.
You got a few more, yeah.
You yourself are a survivor of melanoma, and you've lived with a chronic disease your whole life.
Crohn's disease since I was 21 years old.
So, does that would that impact the way you are, like programs or your view of people working with disabilities?
Well, I look at Crohn's disease, and I know you're into health and different things, and And I've been able to, for the past 15 years, by what I eat, by what I put into my body, control Crohn's disease.
Okay.
I had
Congrats.
surgery. I had surgery back in 2006 where I got half my intestine, foot of my whole colon taken out. I weighed 130 pounds. I was on death's doorstep back in 2006. And you know, the thing is like, you look at, you know, and we can go on for days about this, but you look at, like, I think it's important for us to show people, like, you can be healthy by what you put into your body, by eating healthy. And then you look at melanoma. You know, melanoma has, you know, it wrecks somebody, you know, because melanoma is one of the fastest spreading cancers out there.
Right.
And so, you know, mentally, you see how people deal with that, and people deal with cancer, and you know, you get through it. And I believe I've gotten through what I need to get through.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I was asking how it would inform your policies, but we're so tight on time because we're having such a spirited conversation. Give me your pitch. Why should we vote for you?
Leadership, understanding the people. I've been on the ground since the first part of October, meeting with people all over this district. This district's huge. Spans from Redondo Beach all the way to Larchmont.
Yeah.
It's a very big district, and different communities have different problems. And,
For sure.
and you know, and different needs. And I think I'm the guy that can go from one end to the other and in between and bring people together for unity. And I think that's what's important in Los Angeles. We have to be unified, and that's what I'm going to try to do.
Give us the websites, the places to find you.
Yeah, you can find me at Clint Carleton, CLINT, and www.carleton24.com.
Close the jail, yes or no? Men's Central.
Yes, absolutely. And knock it down and create the state-of-the-art mental health facility for it.
So build a
beautiful
jail?
No. Build a beautiful mental health facility with beautiful garden, grounds, everything. So we have to, but that's a long process. That it's probably maybe a 6 or 7 year plan.
Okay, I'm just laughing because I was at the Board of Supervisors yesterday, and it sounds like it could take longer than that, but we'll see. They certainly want it to be a shorter plan. Clint Carleton, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you so much for your time.
Find out more about him at Carleton24.com, Carleton24.com. We're going to be talking with Dr. Gerald Horn. I told you we were stacked today. It's KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
Thank you for sharing a part of your Wednesday with us here on the Black Information Network. I'm Mike Moore. Now, here's the latest. In Ohio, opening statements are expected to begin today in the murder trial for former Franklin County Deputy Jason Meade. The court says jury selection is taking longer than expected, pushing back the opening statements from yesterday to today. The trial stems from December of 2020 when Meade, who is white, fatally shot African-American Casey Goodson